What is going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Aaron here. It is Tuesday the 3rd of June, and guess what we're talking about today? That's right, guys. We're talking all things DeFi and AI agents once again on the channel, guys. I hope you all had an amazing Monday. Now we're getting into the meat of the week, guys. It is Tuesday, bleak Tuesday, but actually the markets are not looking too bad. As you can see here, the AI agent coins today are up around 1% total in its market cap. And do you know what, guys? Yesterday we did a news integration about DKing, and guess what happened? You dirty degens, boom, up 50%. There we go. That's what happens when they get featured on Aaron K Official's channel, guys. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it.
Pretty straightforward narcissism.
50% up. There you go. Hope you guys bought in. What can I say? Influence. Axelrod also up 49% today as well, and also was mentioned on the channel yesterday as well. Gosh, I should be doing the lottery, shouldn't I? I should be doing the lottery at this rate. But no, obviously, fantastic to see, guys. The projects that we're talking about on this channel, as always, to be honest, if you backdate it, boom, to the moon. Also, we've got some other big gainers here in AI agents as well. Acolyte, of course, 18.2% up today, an AI agent in the Virtuals ecosystem that if you stake Acolyte, you are able to accumulate those sweet, sweet virgin points. And also Giza, which we've been talking about as well regularly on the channel over the last week or 10 days or so, still up another 13.8% today. Look at that nice rise over the course of the last 4 or 5 days or so, now around $13 million in market cap. Congratulations to Giza. We've also got some other big movements here as well. AI Rig Complex, which of course is ARC, up 12.3% today. Now they did recently launch their, Rhizome Canvas product, which they've basically teased on their X account, but not much else. So yeah, still kind of waiting for that Rhizome AI agent app store, guys. And then also OpenServe, 11.4% up today. Now we did cover them also not too long ago with their new Dash.Fun product and protocol that they've got coming out, guys. So if you haven't checked that out, feel free to go and check that out. It's free to check out and use. Other major gainers today, we've also got Santa here, which we've also covered a few times recently, up 10% today, up 208% this week. It continues its rise. Congratulations to all of you that got into Santa. And finally, the darling of the channel, Anon, up 9.4% today. Now, for those of you lucky enough to watch my content yesterday, you will actually see, for those of you that commented and asked for the activation key to use Anon in the Chrome extension, I responded to your comments yesterday in yesterday's video. So if you haven't activated Anon yet, you are able to do so. If you go to yesterday's video, check out the comment section, because I replied to 5 or 6 of you that asked for the code there. So enjoy, guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's sweet. It's going to revolutionize trading for sure. And then we've also got Solace here, up another 8.6% today. Good to see. Obviously, the top Virtuals Hackathon winner, no doubt, is going to ride the wave of the Virtuals hype and continue to perform. Does it have legs, though? That's the question. Does it have legs? Let's wait and see. But for now, it's riding the hype cycle. I mean, you can't argue with that chart. All right, guys. I've also got Game by Virtuals. Of course, Game, the sole framework, really, the main framework from the Virtuals team, and obviously a lot of these agents are launched using Game, up 8.1% today, still set at 36 million market cap or so. And Sally also here up 8%. Sally, the health AI agent project, just under $10 million market cap, 8% rise today, guys. All right, let's get into the biggest losers of today. As we can see here, we've got a few projects that we recognize. We see Edwin here is a 13.3% downfall today. That's not great to see. Arbus down 6% today, but still up 20% this week. Of course, Arbus are launching their new product on the 5th of June, so on Thursday, their new InfoFi project that everyone is really excited to see. We also see Spectral here, that's down 5.2% today as well. Now, Spectral also have some updates. Now, of course, they have the AI agent hedge fund that they launched actually in front of Virtuals, before Virtuals did, using their Lux framework. They are also looking to branch out into other new businesses using their Lux framework, not just the hedge fund. And we've got a news short about that coming up later in the video. Guys, let's head over to DeFAI, see what's going on around here. Now, as you can see, quite different. Usually DeFi and AI agents kind of follow each other up and down, but DeFi is down 0.6% today and AI agents is up 1% today. So quite a different big gap really between the two. But anyways, as you can see here, guys, some of the top winners from today. I mean, we've already mentioned Axelrod, of course. I can't even say that without sounding like I'm swearing, guys, but you can read it for yourself. It's such a small project, so I'm not even going to talk about it. 450k market cap. But we do have Gloria AI here that continues its glorious rise, 27.1% up today and 56.8% up this week. It's fantastic. There was a thread on Gloria AI that came out, I think it was yesterday, in which they said that over 31% of the supply was already staked, and various other metrics that we can get into later on in the video. But good to see Gloria AI continuing its rise, guys. It was a project that I did put some of my Virgin points into. So yeah, fair play. Going further down the page here, guys, any other major winners? We touched upon Velvet Unicorn yesterday, 12.9% up today, 45% up this week. Ask Jimmy. There we go. That's one we haven't heard about for a while. 12.7% up today. Of course, that was launched on the Arc Forge launchpad. Who remembers that? God, you got to be OG to remember that. It feels like a lifetime ago. But actually, it wasn't that long ago. Going further down here, guys, any other big movers or shakers? Not particularly, to be honest with you. Just kind of, basis bios here, up another 6%. Another virtuals project is closing in on a 20 mil market cap, doing very, very well. For those that committed to the virtuals, to the basis launch on the Virtual Genesis launchpad, must be loving life right now with that level of price action. All right, guys, look, I think that's all we have really for AI agents and DeFi in our market analysis. Let's get over and head into the news. All right, guys, we need to be talking about what is going to be the next virtuals. Okay, some of you think you're too late for virtuals. Some of you think, they've already had so many 100x's by now, or 50x's, 100x's, whatever. Like, am I too late? Am I behind the whales?
We need answers.
I would say you're probably not too late, but you're probably not too early. Okay, you're somewhere in the middle.
Is it considered bad or good?
But with Creator Bid, you might very well be very early. Okay, stick with me here because Creator Bid is catching a bid here. Look at this, 69.7% up in the last 24 hours. As you can see here, guys, they've had an announcement that just came out yesterday, late last night yesterday, and it has gone all the way to a $60 million market cap, but still tiny in comparison to the billions of dollars of market cap that is virtuals. Okay, why? Why has it gone up 69%? Well, I'm glad you asked, because this is exactly why, and this is going to get you degens excited, okay? Creator Bid version 2 launchpad has been announced, okay? And they're calling Curate with Bid. Now, Bid obviously is the token ticker of Creator Bid. Now, Creator Bid is basically all in on the BNB chain. Okay, guys, they're trying to build the AI agent ecosystem, let's say on BNB chain. They also have some integrations with Base and so, but they are backed pretty heavily by the BNB chain ecosystem. Okay, now what Creator Bid have done is they've taken some of the best elements from virtuals and they've also tried to adapt it based on what they think are issues with the virtuals ecosystem that will make it obviously better on their ecosystem. So let's dive into this, guys, because the flywheel is back and this might be your chance to get in on the ground floor.
Will it make us rich?
Okay, guys, so look, jumping into exactly how this new Creator Bid launchpad works. As you can see here, your bid, the amount of bid that you have, is locked in the vault that gives you voting power. Okay, now obviously the more lock you have, the more voting power you have. The main difference between Virtual Genesis Launchpad in this specific area is that Virtual Genesis Launchpad gives you points that you have to then pledge to a project, whereas here you just have voting power. Okay, there's no points. You don't spend the points and then you lose the points. Your voting power stays. Okay, so you can vote with your voting power and your voting power is the same. You don't lose it for pledging it to a project. Okay, so that's the first difference.
So far, so good.
Going further down here, you can vote for any project you want, but your vote should mean something. You should encourage everyone to take a moment and do some due diligence to make sure you're backing projects, of course. Now, each project has a maximum of 2 million bid votes, and that number is subject to change, and then it gets approved, and then it can obviously launch. Projects that don't meet the 2 million bid threshold before the voting window closes will not launch. Now, obviously, we see that already with Virtual Genesis Launchpad. Obviously, they need to get 42,000 virtuals pledged. The launch mechanism, okay? So the launch mechanism, each team launching an agent allocates 37.5% of the total supply to a fixed price ecosystem sale. Okay, so again, you'll be used to this, 37.5% of the supply. It's the same as virtuals. The FDV, however, is only 100K here, whereas the FDV on virtuals is tied to the price of virtuals because it's a raises in virtuals, and that is currently, it's always around 230 to 270K US dollars FDV. So actually the FDV here is even more than half of the FDV of the raises on virtual. So what does that mean? It means you're going to get less amount, but even less amount of allocation, but it means that the multiples will stand out more because a 50x in virtuals will be 100x here in Creator Bid, and maybe that's why they're keeping the FDV down, but to get more attention by using those kind of standout numbers. Oh, we hit 100x, oh, we hit 100x, oh, we hit 100x, which everyone loves to do. It's typical launchpad propaganda seen in 2021. Now, allocation once again is weighed by the bid level. Yes, we know that. Max allocation per buyer is 0.5%, $500. You're going to need a lot of points to get that, I'm sure. So you're going to need a lot of voting power to get that, sure. See, I was just testing you guys there.
That's a lie.
Then the raise is $40,000 for every single AI agent here, okay? If the sale gets oversubscribed, allocations are scaled proportionally back on bid locked, okay, of course. Now, 50% of the supply, so the majority of the supply here is reserved for what they're calling agentic distribution, okay, agentic distribution. So one portion, percentages can change, reserved for the Creator Bid Conviction Vault, which strategically emits token to bid level holders and contributors. The goal here is to curate a diamond-handed holder table, which is aligned with the agent's vision and mission. Maybe those with more diamond hand, I'm not going to say points, but more diamond hand, those who have acted in a more diamond-handed way maybe they get more multiplier effect from this create a bid conviction vault. The rest is to be allocated to contributors like users who increase mindshare to the agent, rewarding aligned and active participants. So this is going to be basically yapping, right? So for those that are yapping and talking, increasing mindshare, quoting the different agents and such, they're going to also be rewarded, just like in virtuals. But also what they're saying here is that agents themselves will play a role as well. So Create a Bid is evolving into InfoFi and SocialFi soon, where smart emissions will flow to smart agents, powering a new layer of coordination and on-chain influence. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to be fighting agents, guys, for this mindshare and for these yapping distributions. The final 12.5% are deployed as liquidity across Base or BNB, which is the two ecosystems that Create a Bid is playing in. All allocations can be fully customized on request. We recognize that not all agents share the same goals or requirements. Okay, and they've just given us an image here. See if I can get it up, of exactly the breakdown I just spoke to you about. So you can see here very clearly what we mentioned. 40% to stakers and mindshare leaders. It's huge amounts, guys. 10% strategic airdrop. As you can see, the 100k FTV, $500 per person, etc. I think that's pretty clear, guys. Now, they have a different concept here that we don't currently have on virtuals, and this is called Algo Snipe, okay, the first buy on DEX. So, for example, you're on bid level 6, you pledge $500 on the upcoming agent launch, and you actually only get $360 after all things are considered, so you have $140 remaining. What are you going to do? Well, as of right now, virtuals refunds you that virtual that you've pledged. However, on this platform, Create a Bid, that you can actually toggle a first buy on DEX through the agent algo. So the agent algo is obviously an algo that snipes, a sniping algo agent. And you can basically pledge your remaining allocation to the agent algo to snipe. So you can still get tokens at a cheap price on the launch. It's quite interesting. And I assume this is to obviously stop just, snipers that are a cancer to the ecosystem, basically, from doing, and rather get the people that are actually contributing to the ecosystem to get more of the tokens. So it's a pretty smart move.
Seems fair.
How is this going to work? So the snipe final allocation is split between bidders based on the remaining allocation for the snipe and the weight of their bid level, of course. So everything, by the way, is clearly weighted towards your bid level. If your leftover amount is fully used for sniping, you get tokens from the snipe, obviously. You get no refunds as 100% of your allocation has been used. But also, you don't have to do this, right? You don't have to. You can just say, no, I don't want to snipe, and you can get your money back. Now, if the snipe pool exceeds the max total firepower, the sniper pool is split equally between all participants. You get your agent tokens based on the portion used. The rest is refunded. So pretty cool what they're trying to do here, guys. Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting what these guys are doing. And obviously you're seeing the similarities here with virtuals, right? It's getting pretty tasty, guys, because we've already seen this. The proof of concept is out there. If BNB chain back this, if CZ starts retweeting this stuff, who knows? Maybe we've got some major competition coming for virtuals. Now, let's go to this user participation part. So your bid level is the foundation of your influence and participation within the Create a Bid ecosystem. The higher your level, the higher your allocation in each agent launch. I'll just highlight that. The higher your level of your bid level, the higher your allocation in each agent launch. So that's what you need to know. You need to know, how do you get a higher level? How do I get more allocation? Social score obviously plays a direct role as well. The more you post about upcoming launches, the ecosystem, help push Create a Bid's mindshare, etc., that's yapping. And what they've done here is they put a friendly suggestion. Now's a good time to start yapping, basically. It may prove valuable sooner than you think. So that's a strong hint. You should be bull posting bid right now in order to basically increase your bid level. Probably they're going to retroactively recognize that. So you know what to do. Jeet score. Now, of course, we've heard of Jeet score. Look, they're even using Virgin here, which is such a virtuals term. So I wasn't expecting to see it that used here, but there you go. And Diamond Hand obviously is a universal term. But Jeet score, penalties and score recovery. So basically what they're saying here is obviously that if you Jeet, so your actions are misaligned with the ecosystem, reduces your bid level accordingly. Selling agent tokens after launch gives you a higher impact the more larger the sale is. However, what they're doing here is that instead of just sending you to jail for 2 weeks, which means you can't participate in any launches, what they're doing here is they're testing score slashing, so a temporary reduction of your bid level. The idea is to penalize short-term cheating without immediately cutting users off completely from the ecosystem. So, almost like a halfway house, or, basically maybe not going to jail, but being on house arrest is how Create a Bid are playing this out. So final thoughts here. Look, Create a Bid is about to begin. June will be packed with surprises, including special campaigns for our most loyal supporters, incentives for top voices on socials, development regarding the Tau Council, key system partnerships, etc. This is why the price of bid has absolutely blown up today. Let's just quickly touch on the bid level being explained here. So introducing our new system to guide emissions and reward long-term aligned stakeholders within the Create a Bid ecosystem, you have bid levels, okay? So how is your bid level calculated? Well, you lock your bid in the vault. The longer you commit, the higher your time-weighted score. The rewards conviction instead of just holding, emphasizing alignment for the long term. Same as vVirtual. Okay, apart from that, you're not getting points, you're just getting your voting power. Behavior score. Your bid level also reflects your contributions across both on-chain and off-chain activity. So for example, social media, okay, using your social graph. And what it's saying here is obviously engaging with creator bid and ecosystem agents will boost your score. Yeah, of course, we know that. LP score, providing liquidity, especially at launch, increases your score. So those that are a little bit more want to play with dangerous LPs, liquidity providing pools, and to see if that provides you with a good bid score, but it says it will add to your bid level. Membership score, locking tokens in the membership module unlocks further bonuses. And the result is a system designed to reward meaningful participation and long-term alignment while discouraging short-term extraction. There you have it, guys. That's it. Now look, Phil here is like the main guy behind CreatorBid, like building CreatorBid. Go give him a follow. Philism_. Is he the next Ether Mage? Is he the next AI Launchpad conqueror? Watch this space, guys. Now, of course, for those of you that, are just tuning in to CreatorBid or haven't understood or heard of CreatorBid before, D-King is from CreatorBid. Okay, it's a $4 million market cap. Also, Sally, who we mentioned in the start of the video, she's also a CreatorBid agent. It's at 23.4 million market cap. I mean, that market cap is higher at 23.4 million than Axelrod, than Solace, than many or all, I think, all of the Virtual Genesis agents. So what does that show you? It shows you that this platform has legs. CreatorBid has legs, clearly. They've got another agent here, Aeon 5100 at a $7.2 million market cap. This is all without the hype of 100Xs. So that's why the price of CreatorBid has pumped, guys. That is what's going on. $60 million market cap. Compared with Virtuals, obviously it's a miles away. It's 100X away. So there does seem to be a lot of value in getting your bid in now while you can, in order to maximize your voting power before the price of CreatorBid gets too expensive. Not financial advice. You nearly caught me there. Never financial advice. This is just what I'm thinking, and you need to make your own minds up, guys. But with the backing of the BNB chain ecosystem, potentially with backing from the likes of CZ, BNB have a lot of influence, as do Yeezy Labs, the main VC behind the ex-Binance Labs. If they're really pushing this, and we've seen the model already work with Virtuals, this is an opportunity for you if you think you're too late to Virtuals. And even if you don't think you're too late to Virtuals, but you want to participate elsewhere, this is an opportunity that I think is interesting because the model's working, guys, and there's no reason why it shouldn't do well, so long as the bull market does well. So do with that information what you will, guys. I probably will be buying some bid myself at these levels because I expect the bid price to continue its upward momentum. All right, guys, let's switch it back to the Virtuals ecosystem, back to the motherland.
We knew it was permanent.
And as you can see here, Axelrod is absolutely flying, guys. Look at this, $18 million market cap, 35.54 million FDV, guys. And we all got in 200k FDV. Loving life here, guys, on the beach. Are you still holding your Axelrod? Well, let's talk about Axelrod because there's some new updates about the project that we need to be talking about. Okay, so the first thing here is that they've basically added on their website a new Genesis fund, a new section called Genesis Fund. Now, we're all aware that Axelrod obviously plans to be an autonomous hedge fund on Virtuals, but how is it going to run? How is it going to function? What is the size of the fund? I believe most people don't actually know. Now, they've given us some more information here. As you can see, I'm on the website, axr.aixvc.io/fund, Axelrod Genesis Fund. So, as you can see here, the first fund is happening, guys. It's happening. $5 million assets under management. That's going to be the size of the first fund, a 1-year lockup. And obviously, its running net return is 0% right now because it's just getting started. We're just getting started. The cool thing is you're going to be able to view its portfolio. But the uncool thing is that this is a private fund available to invited investors only, which means that people like you and me don't get access. Sad. But hey, at least we can actually see how this is going to work. And, not put our own funds at risk. But look, obviously lots of people are bullish on here, guys. There's some quick facts here. So the fund size is hard capped to $5 million. The deployment window is 6 months. Target ownership, 2 to 3% per project. So it's planning to be a whale in each project. Okay, so it's going to be interesting, right, how the market reacts to Axelrod. Now, if you remember with AIXBT, when AIXBT first came out, AIXBT used to basically moon tokens based on what it said. Is that going to be the same for Axelrod? If it starts deploying into a token, is that going to be a green flag for investors? I think it could very well be. The portfolio breadth is around 20 agents. It's fully on-chain. The lockup is 12 months. And the fees, 2% management, 20% perf. But look, I mean, if they're going to try and buy 2 to 3% of the project supply and lock it up for 12 months, thanks for letting me know. This is all on-chain. I can check. Give us a good floor, right? A floor price. Going further down here, it explains a bit more about execution optimization, on-chain execution, signal ingestion. All sounds very sexy.
You look excited.
Let's see how it actually performs, Mr. Axelrod. But this is the news about the fund, okay? And obviously, the token's performing very well. It's a darling of the Virtuals ecosystem. I pledged a lot of points to Axelrod. Who didn't, And I'm excited to see where it goes. Now, there was a blog post from Mr. Anon_VC here, which are basically the team behind Axelrod. And something you need to be aware of, Anon, is that these guys are not actually too happy with the virtuals flywheel. They think it's unfair that the team are left holding nothing. They have no liquid tokens at launch. They're fully locked up. Whereas early allocators, such as yappers that are tweeting, they're basically saying that they have access to projects that are near zero cost basis. It's true, but it does take time, and people do pay for tweets. We just saw that, with Laudio, and creating content does take time, especially shareable content. And then real investors, which is the capital deployers that are buying tokens on the open market, hoping to make money, they're saying that it's more risky for them. And there's this whole blog post, guys, where they're basically saying the team, they're kind of moaning, to be honest. The team are building their house while everyone else gambles in it. No tokens, no buffer, just vibes and a prayer. What about the 1% fees? What about the 70% of the fees go towards the team? That's the point. That's the point. Is that 70% of the fees, of the trading fees, go to the team, and that provides them the runway. So they've conveniently left that out of this article. For some reason. And then they've also mentioned here how early allocators are basically, the utility is basically infinite. They're playing with house money. Heads they win, tails they shrug. So early allocators are the point farmers, they're the yappers. And the real investors are saying that, their payoff hinges on the market price exceeding their entry cost, which is often 10x what allocators paid. If the market dips post-hype, they're underwater fast. So look, basically they're not happy. They're not happy with how it favors the community. But I would argue that the team should chill. The team, listen, any major launch in the last 8 years or so for like a decent project, not just a pump and dump, the team's usually locked for like a year, 18 months. Like I have a background in VC. I've invested in many projects over the years. I've reviewed hundreds, if not thousands, of pitch decks. Seeing any pitch deck before virtuals came along with like a 30-day lock for the team, I would have just closed the presentation there and then. I'd be like, no way, this is a rug. It's interesting to me how like the team want access to tokens so early, especially it's supposed to be a long-term project. I'm not fudding Axelrod. I think it's a great project. But I wasn't really a big fan of this post, to be honest with you, because building those long-term holders by having the locking, it's basically just providing your community that you're there for the long run. Now, it says full disclosure here. Now, this is the alpha, guys. We haven't locked in a choice yet. They're talking about relocking their token because the Axelrod token unlocks in 10 days, okay? 10 days, it's not long. And the green lock ends in 5 days and they have 30% staked. The community wants them to relock, but they're saying they're heavily leaning against relocking. Hot off the press. There's a good chance that Axelrod won't relock its tokens. They're saying that relocking keeps the team shackled, hands tied, no liquidity, where early allocators roam free with their zero cost bags. Mate, they sound so, what's the right word for it? Yeah, nothing I can really say live on YouTube, but they do sound like pretty hurt by this. We're thinking of letting the floodgate open, let the price find equilibrium and speed up price discovery. What does that mean, guys? It means that people are going to dump their Axelrod basically because there's no green token, there's no green lock anymore. It's probably not going to be a chaotic dump because it's still highly rated, and there could be some good dip buying opportunities here, guys. But for sure, the Axelrod price is going to go down, and it's going to be interesting to see how far down it goes. Is it going to go down like a house on fire, or is it going to find a level of support, a decent level of support? I'd probably guess that it would find a decent level of support considering how highly rated it is in the ecosystem. And I think that, capital deployers, as they say, will see an opportunity once it hits certain price levels. But be prepared, guys. Be prepared for this. It's coming. What do you guys think, guys? Put it in the comment below. Do you think the Axelrod team are right in their approach here, that it's completely unfair on the team and it's just free money for all of us, guys, all of us farmers, all of us, pledge allocators of virtual points? Or do you think that they're wrong? They're suggesting that they realign the virtual Genesis flywheel and they vest early allocators. So those are getting at 200k FTV, like you and me, they're saying that we should start getting vested our tokens as well, align their incentives with the project's arc, and shield post-TG investors from dump and run chaos. And they're saying shrink the free float. Cut launch supply to say 10%, scarcity curbs sell pressure, gives team breathing room, and lets organic demand set the pace. I disagree. Sorry guys, I disagree. Because don't forget, we're already locking up our virtuals and throwing away the key with the V virtual, which actually doesn't even give you that many points. We're already staking all these random agents just to get points. We're basically locking away so much of our liquidity just to get more points. Even if we take profit from those points, we're going to jail for 14 days, which means we can't even allocate to any more projects because of that, even if I've got $1 million locked up in virtuals and the virtuals ecosystem. So how is that fair? Tell me that, AIXVC. And then suddenly we should have vesting on top of that as well. God, talk about strangling the retail investor. So I disagree with that. Okay, but I like the project. Don't get me wrong. I'm a holder of this. And I'm not going to dump the token either. But it's a good conversation, guys. What is your call? What do you think we should do? Should we stick to the current virtuals, or should we vest the allocators and shrink the free float? Let us know in the comments below. Ladies and gentlemen, I needed to tell you about this because I've mentioned Whale Intel AI as a good platform to give you great exposure to the underlying data for the Virgin and Virtuals ecosystem and basically the Virtual Genesis Launchpad. Now they've actually now got a trial mode, okay? Trial mode, guys, live on whaleintel.ai for new versions. So previously you had to basically hold or stake 100, 1,000 or 50,000 whale intel, but now you get a 24-hour full trial access with no wint required at all. So if it's your first time connecting, you have 24 hours, okay? So make sure when you connect, you actually have a good amount of time to actually check out the product and basically have a play around and get some great data. And if you've connected your wallet before, you have access till 12 p.m. UTC Monday, which is, you know, basically already happened. Okay, guys, if you've connected your wallet before, connect a wallet that you haven't put on there before, okay? Obviously.
Whoa, looks like he's got a secret.
Use it, explore it, see what real intent feels like, cook fast, cook smart, stay virgins, okay? So look, guys, had to mention that because I've mentioned it on the channel. Now's your chance to check it out. Why not check it out and get some Virgin Alpha? All right, guys, that's all we've got time for. Thank you so much for joining me once again for your daily dose of DeFi NEI agents, guys. Look, the Launchpad space is really heating up here. CreatorBid seems to be utilizing some of the best parts of virtuals, but adding their own spin to it. And goodness me, why not? Why can't they actually become the next virtuals? Or even if they only do half of what virtuals are doing, there's still returns to be made. So I'm quite excited about what CreatorBid is going to bring. Having said that, who knows? Like, guys, it could obviously fail. It could turn up like the Arc Forge pad. It's still very, very early, but it does look exciting. Now, let's not also forget, we've also got the Holo Launchpad coming from the HoloWorld team that have successfully launched two really, really strong projects, guys. Think about it. Laudio and Mirai, both very, very, I mean, definitely tier 1 projects in terms of the AI agent tiers of projects launching from Virtual Genesis or Holo Launch. So again, great track record so far from the HoloWorld team. That's definitely one to keep an eye on as well. Look, guys, we're going to be going through all of the Launchpad, all the new launches, how you can maximize, you know, your gains and your allocation and your voting power as much as possible on the channel. Do not forget, we are hosting DeFiCon in Istanbul during Istanbul Blockchain Week, the largest DeFi NEI agent event happening, guys, during Istanbul Blockchain Week on June 26th at the Hilton Bomonti Hotel. It's going to be awesome. It is headlined by Daniele Sesta from Hey Anon, and we're going to have a blast. I'd love to see you guys there. But until now, today, unfortunately, this is the end of the video. I'll see you guys again back here tomorrow.